Board of Health to order at 16:01 or 4:01 in the afternoon of October 21st, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by our local cable access channel WCAT, Facebook and YouTube. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know. Today we have a hearing for 32 North Street. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. First, we will have a motion to open the hearing and then hear evidence from the health inspector. We have visitation from property management for 32 North Street, and then we'll close the hearing and deliberate as a board. We make a motion to open the hearing as a board.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Motion made, motion carried. Hearing is now open with the health inspector.
I am Tessa Owachowski. I am Regional Health Inspector for the Town of Warren. So today's is for 32 North Street. I'm just going to go down the timeline. On 7/28, a complaint came in from an occupant regarding cockroaches in her apartment. We went to inspect. Didn't see any, but there were violations that stood on the outside of the property. That was on 8/11. Order to correct was sent with conditions deemed to endanger found. So we had 24 hours to comply. Can't gain access to the property without the occupant's permission, so it took a little bit. Tried to contact her to get back to gain access for a reinspection. No answer from her. The owner of the property contacted Jessica on 8/20 to set up a reinspection, said all violations were corrected. I spoke with the owner, set up the reinspection for 8/27 at 9:30 in the morning. Property management called the day before to push back the inspection time to 10:15. So that was schedule time change number 1. On 8/27, property management called that they were running late to reschedule for 11. Reschedule time change 2. On 8/27 at 11 a.m., the inspection was conducted. 8 out of 9 violations still stood. They were all conditions deemed to endanger. Order correct was sent out that day. 9/2, an occupant from the property called asking about a trailer on the property. Told them I never said specifically to remove the trailer, but it could potentially be harboring rodents due to the items and the openness of the trailer. 10/3, received 5 missed calls from property management while I was in a meeting, called back, rescheduled the inspection for the next day at 12. 9/4, the re-inspection for 12 p.m. No one showed up to meet me for the inspection. That was the number 3. On 9/8, spoke with the Board of Health, decided to have a public hearing meeting, sent out a letter to the property owner. 9/29, property management called to request a reinspection because work has been done, even though the public hearing was already set. I agreed to go out to do the reinspection on 10/6. No one showed. That was the 4th time. Spoke with property management, let him know that the public hearing on 10/21 will still stand. 10/14, a letter was sent out to update the meeting location change, which got moved to the senior center. And then public hearing is tonight at 4.
Okay. Is there anyone here representing the client, the property management? Okay. What's going on?
So I was kind of thrown into the mix.
Can you please state your name?
My name is Megan Cormier. I work for Prestige Property Management. We manage 32 North Street. As far as the violations go, they've been addressed and taken care of. The scheduling has been, to say the least, a nightmare. And that's on our end, and that's totally, it was a bad month. August and September were a pretty bad month for us, scheduling wise, the assistants doing schedules and making the schedules, unfortunately, for putting us like in not there, but, my job is leasing, so I kind of was thrown into it halfway. As far as the original and habits in danger, when I walked through the reinspection, I didn't feel that the property had any violations in our control. The only one was in question was the truck, the trailer that, the tenant had put all their stuff in, because she said there could potentially be rodents in there, or that could harbor in there, and I understood that, but I don't, so we told the tenant to remove it, but then I guess, somebody, either from management or the owner, spoke to her and agreed that it could stay as long as it was covered, so it was covered, and that was the last thing that I knew that needed to be addressed or handled there. I'm not sure what else there was other than that.
You do have a good question. So there was 9, so via the housing code, there was 9 violations, and all 9 of them were conditions deemed to endanger. By the time I went back for my reinspection, accompanied by you, one of them had been corrected. So there was still 9 violations that stood in the correction orders. They're all listed out in the inspection report and in the correction orders. They have a 24-hour timeline. and
Because from my understanding, there was like a cat litter box, like 2 cat litter boxes on the side of the road that we got picked up that night.
So
Then there
that's,
was the trailer, and then there was the exterminations.
so that's not even in the, the cat box wasn't even in this correction order. That was just something that we had spoken about where the trash is located. So remember, we had spoke about, do the trash barrels stay here, who picks up the trash? I mean, I can read them off to you, but there's one for the owner and then one for the occupants for number 1 and 2, and they're all conditions deemed to endanger. So
So
that's
we're-
24 hours.
The problem is that we're not getting like the actual conditions, what we're being told, so when we walked through, I thought we took care of like what we had talked about.
No, so then we sent these via certified mail out to the owner. So we sent them to the owner of the property. There's one for the owner, one for the occupants. So
There's
they,
no way you can send one to property management if he has us coming to represent him, like, cause we don't have the official.
so he, as the owner, he should be sending you those then,
I
as the property
understand that.
management. I mean, I can, it wasn't requested to be sent the second time. We had spoken the first time and you said, could you please email it to me? And I did. I sent you the first one via email.
Oh, I didn't,
And then the
I
second
don't know.
one, the second time I went out, and it wasn't requested, and it's due to be sent to the owner, so I sent it to the owner.
okay, I can get that if you sent it over to the office, then, I don't have a copy of it, so I wasn't aware that property management was emailed over a copy, because all I've been told is that I'm going to meet you to show you it's all been fixed.
Okay,
That's all I get told.
so this says the second time I went out, only 1 out of the 9 were fixed. And then the next couple times I tried to show up to see that it was fixed, no one met me. So I can't confirm if any of the conditions were done when they were no-shows. So that's where I stand with this right now. But I don't know if the board has anything else.
No, basically what Tess is saying is, we don't have confirmation by her that everything was fixed, and in our eyes, it's not corrected,
No, I understand.
okay? And all those items need to be corrected for her to come out and verify that the situation has been taken care of.
Right.
Okay, so she has to meet with somebody on the property in order to access that property. And by blowing her off, what, 4 times here now?
I mean, the first 2 were reschedules, and then the next 2 were no-shows.
That's kind of setting the tone for what's going on here.
Yeah, that's not any way intentional on my
What we want is the property cleaned up,
Yeah,
okay, 100% to meet our requirements, to meet the state requirements, to meet the requirements for tenants to live there safe, in a safe and helpful, clean environment. Okay,
so
that's what
the
we're looking
pictures
for.
and everything, so, cause we've sent like the pictures of the property that it's cleaned immediately. You know what I mean, like we have the.
I have to go out and physically
Verify.
inspect the property. Pictures can be misinterpreted,
No, I
only
understand.
show parts, so I do have to go out, and that's why even after this public hearing was scheduled, I did make an effort to try to meet you guys back out there again, and no one showed again, so that's why we went forward with the public hearing.
Any questions?
I just wanna make a comment, I feel that the issue here is the rescheduling, and that's the biggest problem I see, that no one in the meeting, sending resources out here and,
Yeah, I definitely don't mean to play it down by being casual, I'm sincerely like taking responsibility on our end to proceed to like get involved, something acceptable. It is frustrating, it's unprofessional, and I apologize genuinely for wasting your time those times. It wasn't intentional by me is one thing, like it wasn't anything I would deliberately do or in any type of disrespect that was deliberate in any way.
it could have been better phone contact,
No,
and,
I agree.
back and forth before we sent the inspector out.
I agree.
Yeah, especially considering it's been
That's-
going on almost 4 months now, 3 months. And that's my biggest, one of my concerns is, we, set up another inspection and then, it's getting rescheduled or, no show, and we're just delaying this longer. And, winter's coming, so it's gonna be that much harder to do anything.
You got anything else, Cissy?
No, I don't think so,
Do you have
not on
anything
my
else
end.
to add?
I do believe that I'm not sure where we stood with the tractor, if the trailer, if we were deciding to get rid of it completely or not, but I know that the tenant was,
I can't tell you what to or to not remove. I can tell you what it's doing as a public health nuisance, I can tell you, that, like, spelled out in the violation, it says trash and debris is located around the back of the building near the first floor unit and back stairway contributing to unsanitary conditions. So the correction orders are to tell you the violations, not how to correct it, basically. So the trailer, like I had stated, open with all of that stuff is could harbor pests. If you close it up, that might be a better solution, but that doesn't stop everything else that was also under that stairway. There was a whole accumulation of stuff under that stairway. So as long as that's all cleaned up, then we can go back out, and I'm willing to work with the tenants, I'm willing to work with you guys. But the last time I went out, one of those violations was corrected. So that's where it's a little frustrating on my end when I'm coming out and I'm talking to you, I'm talking to the property manager, I'm talking to the owner, people are scheduling for other people, and then no one's showing up. So I think I need a little bit better communication and a little bit more of compliance when it comes to the inspections.
Okay, all right. I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing for 32 North Street, at which time the board will discuss and make a vote on what we're gonna do for the situation. Okay, so making a motion to,
I'll second it.
okay. So, what do we look at that? There's an option of finding.
No, go ahead. I thought you were continuing with something else.
Hmm?
Nothing, I thought you were continuing with something else.
Yeah, there's an option of finding or extending. For another, I I wouldn't go beyond 10 days.
I believe we had to make a strong, date, time set, and then after that, that would be a fine.
Yeah, same thing, you know,
By
one
the
last,
10 days,
one last chance for inspection, and,
and if this inspection gets tabled or rescheduled or no one shows up, then it definitely would be a
Okay.
fine. I would say a fine, almost, no one showed up for inspection, again, that'd be grounds for.
You agree with that?
yeah,
Okay, so let's take a vote for one last inspection to be set 10 days from today. And you'll get with the inspector and make the time and date for that inspection. If nobody shows up for that inspection, fines will start accruing daily. Okay? To the tune of $100 per day.
And
Huh?
do you wanna give, like a notice, say something has to change within 48 hours or something? Of time?
No, I think we've gone beyond that stage. I think I'd just rather go with a straight
yeah, I
Dead-
mean,
deadlock date, 10 days from today, for the final inspection. And if there's a no call or a no show or a reschedule, then fines commence.
or if, you know, corrections aren't actually made.
Okay? So motion made,
I'll second it.
Do you have to
Okay.
state what the fine would be?
$100 a day moving forward. Okay, roll call vote.
Aye, Travis Baker.
Hi, Janet again?
Aye, Dan Thibodeau. Okay, motion made, motion carried. Public hearing is closed for 32 North Street at 16:18 or 4:18 PM on 10/21/25. Okay. Next on the agenda, 920 Old West Brookfield Road. Jim Surprise to discuss inspections previously requested in last month's meeting. Jim Surprise. No show,
Not here.
okay. Moving on, 920 Old West Brookfield Road, discussion to end closure of complaint with Richard Demetrius. Richard? Our decision basically came out to that we're going to stay with the actions that we discussed at the last meeting, which were $50 was found to go to the board for administrative costs. You received a check for $100, and $100 went to the inspector. There's no other money that's gonna be refunded at this time. That's the decision of this board for this particular complaint. As you stated, your name has been taken off, the file closed for any further action on that file at all. If something comes up, you are not responsible for any of the foreseeable actions that might arise in the future.
It didn't say that.
We have the file here.
Yeah, but it didn't say that
What did it say?
in the letter.
That he would not be responsible. He said you are prohibited
Yeah.
from working on it. There's a big
Okay.
difference.
I will make sure that gets in here and I'll send you a copy of that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may. I would like to, you said a decision was made. When was that decision made? Because at our last meeting, there was a second, obviously there was a letter sent. Jim, are you aware of it?
Yes.
Travis, are
The
you
second
aware of
one.
it?
Yeah, cause we all, Jessica sent the letter to each of us individually
Mhm.
to, you know, get our approval on it, see if there was any changes we wanna make.
Okay, because at the last meeting, Mr. Thibodeau stated, we are not going to vote on it tonight, we're gonna deliberate and get back to you. I then stated right after that, that deliberations have to be conducted in open session.
Correct.
And you said we will do it at the
The
next
next meeting.
meeting, which is tonight.
Mhm.
So I don't know how a letter that is dated October 8th, unless you had a meeting.
No, we did not have a meeting. That letter was written as a request by you to rewrite the first letter.
Okay, well, it's still incorrect. So, in both of the letters, it says you are no longer, which were almost verbatim, you are no longer authorized to perform work under this approval. The statement is untrue, and we feel that is defamatory. Is that the new procedure for this board, to write inaccurate statements and letters and make it a public document? This is really a very, very easy fix. And I don't know why you three are digging your heels in to cover the ass of somebody else who you know did wrong.
We're not covering anybody's rear end. The decision that was put forth at the last meeting, where you asked the town administrator where the money went, okay, and was explained to you where the money went.
Yep, and I don't care about the money at this point. What I care about is the accuracy of the document that you are putting out.
Well, also the open meeting law, you guys, you were supposed to deliberate, but you said, yeah, we talked about it, we made the decision, so that's deliberation.
No, we didn't talk about it. We conferred through the,
But you made, but,
That's a backdoor way of violating open meeting law,
But-
and you all know it, and Jessica, you should know it, and if you don't, you should brush up on it.
it is an open
It's
meeting
terrible.
violation, because you were supposed to do it, but we specifically asked when we were going to talk about this. Now, you're saying, well, we didn't talk about it, but I wrote the letter, so that wasn't, so you ran the show, you didn't have to deliberate, you made a decision, but you didn't do it in an open meeting. You didn't sit here and say, this is what my decision's gonna be, you did it in closed doors, and then Travis got to look at it, and then Jim got to look at it, and we all know that's a violation.
And using the secretary, and Jessica, I hope you had nothing to do with that, other than following directions. You know as well as I do, that is a backdoor way of violating open meeting law, and people love to do that. That's how they love to do performance evaluations. Oh, we'll meet with the town administrator because it's just one person, it's not the full board. It's bull. And then, but there was another thing, I watched that tape again, and I would like to ask, you know, today is 10 weeks from the first time that we met. What has this board done to provide, to start any kind of actions on doing policy and procedure?
what have we done to start rewriting policy and procedure?
In August, I asked, you haven't, and you said, I'll have to check. In September, you said, no, I don't know, I'll have to check. And then,
Right.
so have you checked? And clearly there was no policy because Mr. Ferrara,
There is no
because
policy
there was no
for,
policy.
this particular instance. There's no policy for anything, really. We came into this situation as is with
I
nothing.
know, that's
We
why
are
I'm
here
saying.
trying to fix messes from the past, which we shouldn't be. We should be moving forward.
But the fix is,
Absolutely.
I'm taking the brunt of the fix instead of the person that should have been taking the brunt. You
We
took-
know that
you-
had nothing to do with this.
None of you had anything to do with it, but yet you paid her my money for an approval that we don't have. You said, and an approval that could never be used, and she made the mistake. Instead of coming out, looking into her like you said you were going to, and bringing her up front, and say, hey, how did this happen? There's a mistake here. How did this COC get issued the same day that you approved it? You have to refund that money. But no, I gotta refund it. You know, that isn't right. That is not right.
And then if she did a so-called approval, which a signature as DEP standards dictate that you have to have approved, disapproved, or approved with conditions. And there's nothing. A signature is meaningless. So we would like our approved plan back.
You can get the approved plan back. I can send you a copy of that with the addition, with the additions of the, you know, the file being redacted and all of that.
Okay, and that's another thing. At the meeting in September, Jessica said that, she made the statement that, Mr. Chairman, everything in that paperclip is what you redacted. What in the world would you redact on a septic plan?
It's about me.
Well, what
I
we're
know
doing-
something
what we're
about-
doing is taking your name out of it, is what you asked us to
So
do.
No.
Yeah.
No,
That's,
no.
I believe that's what was asked.
so you,
To
Oh my
remove-
God. This is worse than I thought.
The first meeting you came into, you asked us to take your name
I
out of
said, I want a
the,
letter attached to the thing that says,
Off of
I
it.
had nothing to do with it, but you can't legally take my name off it, it was a permit that was taken out. It was taken out, she screwed it up. That's the problem, my name is attached to a thing that was screwed up, I wanted a letter assigned to it saying I had nothing to do with it, I did not install the septic system, nothing was installed, it was an illegal document. My concern was my name was be associated with an illegal document. I don't see how you can remove someone's name off an application.
we're not removing your name off an application, we're taking the file out. The file is not, if somebody came in here and asked for the file, and, under the new contract or whoever's out there right now, your name is not there, that's not the file they're getting. They're getting a file for that property with that other person's name on it.
Okay.
So then we would like a letter stating that Richard Demetrius / Morgan Harrison Company has been removed, no fault, or is no fault of his. Word it in such a fashion, or would be happy to provide a draft of it. But again, the letters that you sent make it sound, you are no longer allowed to work. He could work on it. If they called him tomorrow and said, hey, listen, we changed our mind, we want you to do it, he could do it.
Well, I couldn't,
Under a new permit.
Correct,
but,
correct.
but that word was.
But you are
What
no
was it-
longer
what was the
allowed.
sense of- why did you put that in there? Because no one was allowed to do it, it was signed off, it's a closed project. It looks like I did something, if somebody out.
Okay, Rich, to make this thing simple, all right? I will rewrite this letter again to the way that you think it should be written, okay?
Okay.
All right? And that'll be the end of this.
Almost. And one other question,
But again, we understand that
I
it's
want this
not you.
question first.
Okay, go ahead.
my other question is on the first letter, you wrote, please be advised that in accordance with 310 CMR Title 5, I'm not allowed to any of my money back. Becky read that to you.
That was a mistake.
Becky read that to you, you were quick to acknowledge that it was not a truthful statement.
Right.
So you knew it wasn't a truthful statement.
I didn't write that.
Who wrote it?
That
You
was a
signed it.
mistake.
But you signed it, who wrote it?
We all signed it.
No, you didn't,
Yeah, it's just you.
it's just
Did I
you,
just sign it?
just you.
Okay, Chairman of the board.
So you wrote it, who wrote it?
Who wrote it? That came from my secretary.
So you wrote the letter? Why did you put that in there?
I don't know, honestly. It was the way it was written and that's what was given to the chair and signed.
Who wrote it? You're saying that's how it was written and given.
I wrote it.
Well,
on
why did you put an
recommendation
untruthful
from the
statement in?
board.
Why did you put an untruthful statement in there?
Not to my knowledge, I didn't know that wording could be protruded that way, so
Well, why didn't the rest of you review it? Your name's on it, Dan. Why didn't you look it up? My point is, you're putting down documents that have lies in them. That's a lie, it's an untrue statement. Right? We agree it's an untrue statement, right?
Yeah, I did, yes.
You know, so is this a policy of the board, just this?
No, it's not a policy, it's a mistake that happened.
But how's these mistakes all happen to me? That's what I'm getting at.
It's
You know what I mean?
not-
I'm getting letters with untrue documents.
Like I said, we're not dealing with just you, Rich, we're dealing with others also.
That's not my, but wait a minute, that's not my problem.
You're right,
That's
but
not my
there are
problem. Don't make your problems my problems.
I'm not.
You know, I understand you have a lot of people, but you should take, this was gonna be attached to my file forever. And there's mistakes in it. This shouldn't
There's
happen.
mistakes in it that are in the process of being corrected, okay?
So you don't review it and.
No, I review them.
and
Sometimes,
I'm still unsure how it got in there, Jessica. I mean, was this just, I mean,
Jessica wrote the letter, put it in as her best judgment when she wrote the letter.
well, maybe you should retrain Jessica not to cite law that doesn't have to do with things that could get you in
And
trouble.
everybody makes mistakes, we're a volunteer board, you know, we're elected It's not like this is our full-time job. Mistakes are gonna happen. They happen across every board in this town.
Mistakes do happen.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes it, and I spent 17 years on the Conservation Commission. Mistakes are made. But regulations are regulations, and you should read your regulations before you put your
You're
name
right.
to anything.
You're right,
You know what I mean?
you're right. Okay,
So perhaps the letter could be drafted, and again, it is not the three of you.
I'm not trying to fight with anybody.
And like you just said, you have a ton of these, you have big issues with this individual.
you are correct.
But my point is
So we're
this,
trying to work with you, we just wanna settle our issue and be out of your hair, believe me.
and you agree that you had big issues with her, you should call her in and tell her to
We
refund the $100.
can't get her here, that's the point. We can't get her to respond
So-
to anything.
But
But
that's,
if it's a criminal matter, there's ways of getting somebody.
and the
there's
problem
ways
is that
somebody-
because you can't get hold of her, my money gets, I gotta eat it. You know what I mean? Is that fair? Yeah, I mean, you say it's a fair process, but you feel, you really,
The
that's fair?
the way we're looking at it is, you know, when you look at the permit, you signed it too.
You're, because it's an unorthodox way of doing it. It's not the way you do it. It's, everything was said, sign all this stuff, and you have it, that's not how it's done. It's never done that way. I
And
can
if
bring
it's not,
systems in
if
forever.
that's not how it's done, then you should not have signed it.
But that's the way Warren does it.
Warren doesn't, this is what, when you go in for a permit, this is the same thing, and stuff, you get stonewalled with it, well, this is how it is. Nobody has any, people put shit up all the time. that they don't
It's
know
not how we
about.
do it. We have them sign the 1A form, I fill out the 2A, and that's it. The COC is signed at the
What
very
happened,
end.
what happened to all the applications? Where are they? I never got a plan back. There should be four, there should have been 4 copies in that file, there's only 1. 3 copies are missing, I never got one. They should have
That I
all went
don't
to me. It was my application, you know what I mean? Stuff's missing.
There's missing files all over the place, okay? I can't tell you where they are.
No, I know, but so if I do a job, you know, I guess my point is, if I do a job for somebody and one of my guys screws up, I say to you, hey Dan, I'm sorry, but you gotta eat it because my guy screwed up, he quit, I can't get a hold of him, I'm sorry. It's the best I can do, I think it's fair. You know what I mean? Does it sound fair? You know what I mean?
You know,
We understand that it's not you.
I do understand it's not you, but the point is, it's not like it's even coming out of the town, because somebody has to reapply all over it and pay the whole thing all over again. The money's coming back.
But they would've had to, if you decided you weren't working on the property and, you know, set the inspector issues aside and the paperwork aside. You turned in an application and then decided, you know what, I don't wanna do this job. The next person around is coming in to pay that fee anyways.
That-
They're not getting, you're not getting the money back, they're
No,
not
because
Well,
getting.
if
that's-
he
no,
pulled
that-
himself off,
No, that's not how it works. If I decide I didn't wanna do it, I would walk away, I wouldn't get anything back.
Right.
I'm screwed. I didn't make that decision. Chrissy Florence made it. I didn't make the decision not to do it. I wanted to do
she
this job.
closed it,
She closed it and made that decision for me on the day she approved it. I had no choice.
She took away his ability to do that system the
It
minute she
took
signed
away,
it.
you know?
But you signed off on it as well, and I mean, you're saying that, you know, oh, this is how the town's always done it.
I didn't say it's how the town's done it. The
You-
town's never done it that way. That's why I was confused. The town
But-
never did it this way.
You knew it, you shouldn't have signed it
I
then.
did say this. This is not the way to do it. I had a conversation. I said, you never have the installer to get this approved. It should be done by the landowner or the contractor, not the installer, because you're tying the contract, you're tying the landowner's hands. When I go and get this permit, then suddenly, if he decides, he has to get it before he can get a building permit. The way it should work is every single town, every other town does it, the contractor or the homeowner submits the plan, the Board of Health approves it, hands them back 3 copies, and then they can bid it out. And they can find somebody to do the job for them, you know what I mean? And then but in this case,
How does it work then if they bid it out to an installer that's not permitted in the town though?
nobody's permitted in towns, they come in and get a license, it's no big deal. It's how it happens in every
That's what I
town.
mean, like, the
Every town does it
license.
that way. I get a job, the towns I don't have a license, I go there, I get my license. Nobody gets licenses statewide,
Right.
you know what I mean?
So if they have an approved plan though, and they chose an installer that's not licensed within the town,
They can't install it, it's not approved. They have an approved plan, but they have to take the application out, come back and take out the application with the Board of Health. And then they get the permit.
so the 1A does it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but this way, it's convoluted, and you really put the contractor, the homeowner on the negative side with doing it this way. I mean, it's good for me if I did it, you know what I mean, because then I got the job, nobody can get it, because I own that permit, but it's not fair to the homeowner or to the contractor.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yep.
Just for the record, Ray Capaco, a resident of town. As a friend to both the board and to Mr. Demetrius, I have just some input and without trying to either find fault or blame or anything like that. It's just, but I watched most of the town meetings, and so I know this goes back a couple months, and so I was aware of the situation in general. Our paths crossed recently, and this topic came up a little bit, and so I was talking to him about it. They did provide me, when I say they, I mean Becky and Rich. They provided me a copy of the letter, and I understand where they're coming from. I understand you guys. I believe everyone's trying to do what's right here, but I just have a couple comments just for input, for consideration. But when the part that I think Rich was alluding to, that you're hereby removed as the designated installer of record for this project, and the file has been closed. In considering this a little bit, I wrote myself a note that I'd offer to the board to consider that in addition to this, if there could be provided a more explicit statement that's put into the file indicating, and again, this is just a suggestion, I'm not saying it should be this way necessarily, that by erroneous actions of a previous Title V agent, the original certificate of compliance should be, I don't know the legal term to use here, declared null and void maybe, or repealed or something, rescinded or something. I'm not quite sure the legal term that could be used there. And furthermore, noting that, and noted that Rich is unable, that, I'm not sure, I didn't write this right. The certificate of compliance should be declared null and void, and noted as being unable to be acted on by anyone, including Rich Demetrius, and that no work had been done by him. That makes it crystal clear that he's like kind of absolved of any potential future thing. And I know you're trying to do that, but I just offer that as a possible suggestion. And I like hearing that you guys get together and actually collaborate on a letter that everyone is agreeable with, and you hash it out. I see that Rich made a point that when you include the sentence, you're no longer authorized to perform work under this approval. I see from your perspective, you're just being crystal clear about that. I see from their perspective that that's almost kind of like maybe that there's an assumption that maybe he could still do some work under it. So the sentence is, in my opinion, kind of redundant. It probably doesn't even need to be there because you previously already said files closed and the certificate of compliance would be amended or noted that it can't be acted on by anyone. I'm not going to really address the fee thing there. What it is what it is, whatever. And they're not really looking for a remedy for that at this point anyway. One last comment, just in general, and I say it as a friend to the board, is that when you do these kinds of things, make sure, my preference would be when anything goes out by a board, that all the board members, or at least a quorum of the board's signatures would be on them. And that's just, again, that may not be a requirement. This may be completely kosher to do it the way you did just by having the chair do it, but then it avoids any potential concerns that it came just from the chair without proper public deliberations, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just, it's just some input to consider. And I just wanted to weigh in on that and just offer that to try to help everyone involved to kind of
It
come together.
sounds like, the letter does sound like an admonishment.
And that's not what it's meant to be, so why
Okay,
don't we do this?
I believe that.
Okay, why don't we do this? why don't we sit down together and work on a letter? With, I can't do it this week, it's gonna have to be the following week.
We'd be happy to do that.
And
That's
we'll,
fair.
we'll go for it that way, because,
Okay.
we're crossing this
And-
way
and
and that
again,
way. and-
We don't wanna be
It's,
difficult.
it's not, we understand, you guys you're in a hornet's nest right now.
But I have a big liability with it, with my name on it.
And that's what I'm trying
And
to
that's,
avoid.
that's why I'm concerned.
And that's what I'm trying to avoid,
Yep.
trying to absolve you of the situation,
Okay,
That would be very fair.
all right?
I'm very happy with that.
Okay. So, we'll get together, you can call Jessica,
Okay.
leave a date that you're available.
Okay.
Usually later in the day is better for me, on
Early
like a
evening?
Thursday or a Friday.
Is like early evening, okay?
Early evening is good, yeah.
Okay.
So set up a time with her and I'll
All
make
right.
that with you.
Well, we really appreciate that.
Okay, we'll meet right down here in the board office.
Yep.
The Board of Health
Oh,
office.
in Board of Health office, okay.
All right?
Yep, that sounds good. We appreciate your time and we hope you understand our frustration.
I understand your frustration, I also understand my frustration.
I get it, you know, and it sucks. that
She
you-
can make anyone frustrated.
And there's no deliberation needed on that one, right?
Okay,
Well, we thank you for your time and, Jessica, I'll be in touch and, or you can get that information to Dan when we're available and we can go from there.
Yep.
Okay? All
okay.
right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We wish you luck on this matter because it's gonna be a doozy.
Okay, next item on the agenda, we need to come up with a better system for buying postage. Jessica, you wanna fill everybody in?
We wanna fill everybody in. So we have, certified mailings and first class mailings that get sent out on a pretty regular basis now with housing inspections being actually done. So I have $100 budget to my petty cash and it's very easily gone through. Each certified mailing is over $11. And sometimes depending on the amount of tenants in the building, it could be up to 4 or 5 tenants that I have to send correction orders to. So the money goes down quickly. Yes, I can get I could submit it more frequently to get reimbursed. But I'm not sure that that's actually going to resolve anything because like this week I have 5 on there that I just did. I had 4 on the 14th that I submitted and I had 1 today. And now I have $60-something left in my account for the petty cash.
Is this including what we have to do for the sheriffs too, or is that over?
That would be an expense, invoice through an expense, so not directly taken out of my petty cash
Okay,
that I have. That'll be through our expense account.
what else comes out of petty cash?
Just mailing stamps, that's basically it.
Envelopes in purchase or anything like that?
I don't need to, I have a bunch in the office, so it's
Okay.
just stamps, certified mailings and first class.
So, I know we were talking earlier, and I think you were the one that came up with the idea.
Yeah, so I guess my concern is a lack of resources, or I guess you wanna say funds. If I do a housing inspection and there's 6 units, I have to send it to all 6 occupants and the owner. That's 7 times 11, budget's almost up, right? Next week I have 4 housing. She's not gonna get her money back in time by the time I do those housings. If any of these housings have conditions deemed to endanger, I'm at a standstill. I can't fully do my job. And I know we're just coming into this issue kind of with this now because I just came on in June and I've become way more active. But I guess if we don't have a way to get more funds, I either have to pull back on the housing, and that's unfortunate, because I feel like we've been making such strides the past couple months, and I don't want to, because I feel we've been very proactive. But unless we can increase the mail budget, I don't see any other way other than taking the smaller housing things and unfortunately putting a halt on them.
Okay, and this just popped into my head, and, but I'll go over the first thing that we were discussing earlier, was $1,000 line item transfer from the health and safety.
So, yeah, so what I had either said was taking $1,000 from the health inspector budget that you guys have for the town inspector that's currently unoccupied, and transferring that and using that for mailing.
Creating a new account.
Creating a new account for mailing.
But I think that would have to go through town
Finance.
meetings and
Yeah,
so forth.
Yeah,
the other option it just popped into my head was, what about the forever stamps?
Oh yeah, that doesn't help with the certified mail.
Yeah.
so with certified mail, yeah, they usually, if it's, cause it's been in town, they've been getting it out to the person the next day, so that really helps with any conditions deemed to endanger.
So our really only option is just a line item transfer
I
from.
mean, my other option is it coming out of my pocket too, which isn't
So,
fair.
so
that's
that's
not
more,
the
that's
issue.
more the problem, is having
Yeah.
petty cash on hand.
Yeah, and I don't think it's something that, the town is able to authorize or wants to authorize to allow me to have more money in there, which is, it's fine, it's understandable, but I don't know how to
Yeah.
get around the.
I don't know if they do, I don't know if there's a way, I know like big companies have like, they just bill with the post office, I don't know if there's some way.
Can we set up an account with the post office?
Yeah.
Pay them
I have no
upfront,
idea, yeah.
pay them upfront.
Is there some kind of program like that?
I mean, I know you,
That's for more.
I know where I work, we have a postage machine in the building.
So
It's
we
just-
do too.
Yeah.
The town, that's what
So
the
in
town
town, in the town of
does.
Ludlow, they have in building, so we don't
Right.
even have to go to the post office, we don't have to worry about that, they have it in the budget set for mailings for each department, so the health department, you
So
know,
maybe
has
we look
X.
at that for
amount.
this, in-house, postal.
I think that was something that the treasurer possibly, and I don't know for sure, looked into, and, I don't think the amount that would go out would cover whatever machine that is brought into the town hall. I don't think it would be beneficial, is what I grasped from a
So you don't
conversation.
they don't send enough mail out to recoup the cost of it.
yeah, but I mean, if we're just paying postage on the, yeah, we're doing it for the, certified.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
obviously regular stamps too.
Yeah, I mean, I think you get a, I'm trying to think. I mean, I would check with the post office, see if they have any suggestions, cause I know one of the places I used to work for, we used to do certified mail, and we paid for it online, but I can't remember if we had like a bill account. We just had a stack of the certified mail labels and the stickers, and we'd slap them on, and the person would do it all on the computer, and we just throw it in the regular mail for our mail carrier to pick up, and it would go out no problem. I mean, it'd be worth talking to them, just see if they might have a suggestion.
I think long-term, that's a good thing,
I
is to
think what
look
we need
into
to
the
do is
post
a
office.
short-term fix right away, and I think the only option we have is $1,000 line item transfer.
I think that may be the longer route then, because I think that needs special approval for possibly new,
Yeah, you would have to go through the
account number, and I don't,
finance committee.
I'm not
I
sure
think-
the
I
whole
think you should-
legal.
Go the route of possibly checking with the postal services to see if there's programs
Yeah,
out there.
maybe in the short term, see if Board of Selectmen can approve a higher petty cash amount,
Yeah, why don't we see if we can get this, when's the next board meeting?
probably next Thursday, not tomorrow.
What is it, every 2 weeks now?
Yeah, every 2 weeks, so
So
they just
let's
had
see if
one
we
last
can
week.
get this on next week's meeting agenda, and I'll show up to the meeting and we can present to them what our
So-
issue is.
So for short term, next week I have, I don't remember if it's 4 or 5 housing on top of one that I'm doing this Thursday, so that'll be 5 or 6 housing to cover next week. Do you want us just for short term, just to pay out of our pocket and get reimbursed for that? Or do you want me to halt on my,
I don't want you to halt.
okay,
We're moving too good on that, I don't wanna step back again. We know what the repercussions are for stepping back. I don't wanna be there.
Okay.
So,
I mean, if you guys are okay with out of
yeah,
pocket.
I mean, as long as it's a short term thing, I think that's an okay, I mean, it's not ideal obviously forever, cause we know how long it can take to get money back in that sense, and if it's, again, if we keep moving as forward and fast as we are, that's quite a bit of
Yeah.
money each week.
Yeah, and I know that town, that's why the selectmen are, pushing for like the town administrator to get like town credit card or something like that, cause
Would be
issues like this that,
correct.
you know, not every place we can set up an account and
Mhm.
even
That
places
would,
that
that
can't
would be
set
the
up
cure
account.
all
Yeah,
of this, if department got some
It's
type
all-
of credit
that's
card.
long term,
yeah,
yeah.
right now that is all time. So let's temporarily go with that.
Okay, and
Um,
then next week
And
you'll bring it up.
next week, I'll bring it up at the meeting and
Okay.
see where it goes from there.
Think, how
Yeah,
much,
one way or another, I'll come back with some kind of an answer after that meeting.
Cool, thank you.
question, how much do we wanna see about
I don't
them
want,
raising?
I only wanna pull 1,000.
Yeah, but I mean, how much would we wanna, cause obviously they're not gonna allow thousands in petty cash, but we need to
I'm not
increase the
gonna
petty
have that
cash.
in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, how
All,
much
like-
do we, how much do you think would be a good amount to have in petty cash that'll cover you for like these larger
I
ones?
mean, at least 150, I don't
I would
don't
say,
think
to cover
anybody
your
will
butt, I would
approve
say go
more than that.
200.
I would
No.
say go 200,
Yeah.
specifically, like, yeah, just think about it, like, I just did one the other day that had 6 units. If I had to send out that and I had another one the same week, that's
It's pretty much
already
gone.
gone,
I would
so,
say 200 max
it's,
right now, but have the 1,000 accessible.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, maybe in the future, yeah.
Yeah,
because again, you don't always need to touch the 1,000, but in case we come into these instances where it's multiple
Right.
rental units that we're coming into it, we don't wanna not have to send this out.
right,
If,
because we only wanna visit this one time and not have to.
In
go
that
back.
case too, if it's $1,000 account, I would still have to pay out of my pocket and still get reimbursed. Because there's no, I can't bring that $1,000 from
Why
that
not?
account to the
She's
post
still
office.
tying up,
If we
Like-
set up a separate account for that, for
If
Board
it
of
was
Health,
directly
that's
from the
what,
post office to that,
yeah,
that what
from
you're
the
talking
post
about?
office, yeah,
Yeah.
post office
the
to
post,
that.
yeah, the post office would have to make some type of bill to the town.
yeah,
In that
okay.
sense. Other than that, she's still tying up her own money, or,
Yeah, I'm trying to get
That's-
some, her money out of it,
yeah,
is what I'm trying to do. If we go direct town to post,
Yeah,
that would be.
that would be the best
yeah,
outcome, yeah.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so why don't we schedule that for that Thursday night meeting?
Yeah,
I'll show
I
up.
think you'll have to have it over to what's his name?
It'll be here,
Griffin,
Griffin, yeah, by what, Monday night or Monday afternoon?
yeah,
okay.
I could talk to him tomorrow.
We all good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, discussion on issues with internet in town hall.
Okay, I can, talk about that a little bit. So on and off, I guess there's been issues with our internet at the town hall. Sometime, a couple days it was completely down. In the future, I feel we gotta have something available for a backup, even to be out, if we had to do operations out in the field somewhere or something. So we're gonna start to look into, I feel, some kind of hotspot, or mobile hotspot that could run internet.
Okay, we use mobile hotspots all the time in the field. They're not that reliable, as you might think. and they are very costly to operate. Okay? You have to have internet in an area where you're using this. If you don't have internet in the area, your hotspot is no good. So in order to use the internet, in order to use a hotspot, you have to have internet.
Yeah, so like, say in town, you got Verizon's
Yeah.
Warren side, AT&T on the West Warren side, you got an AT&T hotspot, it's not gonna work in Warren, vice versa, that's a big, because I actually have looked at, a couple of those units for cable, for like, when we're doing the stuff that,
What I would suggest we look into, and what we do use, that we do get good service from, is satellite. Okay, and that would be, we currently use, what is that company? Big Mouth.
oh, Starlink.
Starlink.
I mean, one of the other things, and you know, I'm sure the town's probably gonna look at, is Verizon's doing the fiber optical over town.
Right.
That grant, they have to have completion by, major project completion by the end of this year.
Yeah.
And I got a feeling they're gonna go aggressive with pricing to get everybody to switch from Xfinity, so there's a good possibility the town might look at switching over to that. I know when I talked to the IT guys, some of the issues, because they just replaced the firewall in the town, because it's been a back and forth between Comcast and the IT company. Comcast saying it's something with the IT saying it's Comcast. And I know last time I talked to guys, the IT company was replacing the firewall just so they could say, nope, it's Comcast, and, I don't know, it's weird that all of a sudden it's been working great, and then all of a sudden it's,
Crap, I know.
yeah. I know at least on the other end of town, my cell
Well,
phone
the
is
other
a
option
hotspot.
too, the other, and Jessica, you can, and you, maybe you too, can, chime in on this. It's not just internet, it's power related.
Yeah, that's,
That building has no backup generator whatsoever. And it should, being the town hall, it should have a backup generator. So I think one of the options here is for them to get that on their, radar quicker than not, so that we don't lose power and internet.
yeah,
So if the building right now lost power, you
there's no
can
internet.
still have internet.
You could, but you're not going to, because there's nothing to power the equipment for it.
Yeah, yeah. But if you did have a generator there,
Yeah, if you had a generator there, yeah,
then you would be,
yeah, because a lot of times, you know, power line will go down, but the, cable,
And I'll tell you
Yeah.
right now, there are grants out there for generators. Okay, I was checking them out the other day, there are generator grants out there. Some of them are a match, where the town has to put up so much, and then, the grantor will provide the rest.
I mean, I know I would be happy with, because every time power goes out in that building, I gotta go up there, you know, cable wise and reset
I mean, there were a couple of
everything.
years back that, when I was living in Leominster, we got 8 generators for free on a grant for all town municipal buildings. Those grants are out there.
I'm pretty sure that town hall's gotta be what the only building right now that doesn't have one.
pretty much, this building has it, yeah. Shepherd building,
So I think along with just not looking at just the internet, we need to look at a power supply outside of the general electric that feeds the building. Generator or a solar wall. One or the other has to happen. Otherwise, trying to get a good connection to the internet is not gonna happen, because you don't have the power supply.
Yeah.
So, I think that's another topic to bring up at the next.
I mean, well, one of the things too, even with like the hotspot, I know the library does rentals on hotspots, so I think in a pinch, you know.
In a pinch, yes, but it depends on, a hotspot's gonna depend on what the building's made out of. How
Right.
much steel is in the building.
But I mean, at least in a pinch, you know, it might be, you know, worth, you know, instead of having to pay the monthly service on a hotspot and all that, like, you know, talk to the library, hey, can we borrow one of them in a pinch? But, you know,
Yeah,
I mean, we have the other town buildings, usually it's either that building's out or a chunk of town is out, so.
right. So, I think that's another discussion for the select board. Because they're the ones that have to okay the generator.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have to okay the,
Probably steer it towards, trying to figure out the generator power situation.
yeah.
That you would at least be able to power up the Wi-Fi and all your
Yeah.
systems within the
All your
building.
systems would run off the generator. All my systems at home run off the generator.
We have 3 generators at the hospital, each one does a different thing.
Or if it came to making a building that you could plug a generator into the building, if need be.
And run certain,
Yeah.
just,
Well, it would have to be
just
a wire.
it's basically an outside generator that attaches to your house. With a power cord on, you have it, you have the connection box already installed, you just take the generator and plug it in to feed your most important systems, like your internet, like your, heating or whatever. But you have to have a properly sized generator in order to do that. Heating is gonna take more so than just to run the internet. Right, so maybe you just go with something to run just the internet
Yeah.
for now, until we can get a full-fledged building generator.
Yeah.
So, that's an option, that's a short-term, that's a short-term fix for that problem for the generator. But you still have to have a transfer switch wired in place ahead of time, and already connected to the building Wi-Fi system or internet system, so that when you plug in that generator and fire it up, you get instant access. So, any other discussion on that? No?
I think we're good.
Okay, other discussions, monthly health inspector updates.
Okay. There's not a ton since the last time. Basically, it was talking about funds for mail is what I had on my list. There's a new residential kitchen in town, Kiki Crum. She did a food inspection. I did her residential kitchen inspection. She went to the Warren Farmers Market. Washburn Ave, the sewer issue, lateral break, has the cases closed. That was all fixed. 28 Cottage Street, we had court last month regarding that. 2 compliance inspections are scheduled for 10/9 and 12/3. Court date is set for 12/10. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys this month. Any
Any
questions?
questions?
No, I just want to make comments of good reports and good
Yeah.
communication.
Thank you.
Good job.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I always seem to be the last one getting back to you, but
You are.
that's
You are.
because of where I am,
You are.
what I do.
I'm always
no,
like,
I
you're
think
so
I
damn evenly back.
Like, I think I might be worse, though.
No.
No?
You were great with communicating on Washburn. I really appreciate those connections
Yeah,
with the sewer and everything, because I was obviously had my hands tied with that, so.
Yeah, I did not get much sleep that week.
But it's all done now, so.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be continuing, because I can't always respond from where I am, so
Alright, we'll forgive
it
you.
is what it is,
It's alright. It's alright.
so. Alright, Milltown Shared Service Review with Erin McMurray. You're up at bat.
Perfect.
You wanna stand at the microphone?
Yeah, hang out at the podium. I wanted to talk to you guys about the Fab tabletop. That's my main concern, I guess. I saw that Jessica sent you all an email and went through the different options. I talked to Pamela, who I guess oversees the FET funding for you guys. Personally, I think what makes the most sense is that second option, where she's going to have a Zoom, you have who you need to have there. Ideally, it's the public health personnel, emergency management, and public safety representatives. You go through the exercise with her, answer your questions, and then she'll stay on. And if you have like any extra questions or need any extra help, she will help you. I did sit through a tabletop last week with Ludlow and Palmer, so I have a better idea as to what is to be expected. Have any of you guys done a tabletop before?
I've done tabletops with emergency management before.
Okay.
I've done live exercises with emergency management, but not with public health.
Okay. So my biggest concern is after double checking the dates, that November 20th, I personally am gonna be out of town, so I won't be able to be here with you guys. Do you want me here? I can't be here, but if.
Do we want you here in spirit?
I mean it as like if you really, really want me to be a part of it, then we would have to do it on our own.
What do you think?
Do you think that's feasible?
I mean, the only thing you do is mess up and it gets corrected, that's all.
Yeah, I think you should do the thing, do it
I think
Pamela.
we should do it without her, and that's how you learn.
Perfect. Honestly, if there was an emergency, I'm 45 minutes away, like, I don't think I'd be here, I'm not the one that's responding.
It would be our town
It would be
official,
you
our
guys.
chiefs, our.
Yeah, okay, cool. I went through and just like checked out the Survey Monkey situation, so every person who's going to be participating needs to fill out that Survey Monkey. And you will get like a link to the Zoom, you'll get all the paperwork that you need for filling it out.
And send you a bag of peanuts after.
I will send you guys the Survey Monkey link just to make sure it's top of the mailbox and you know what I'm talking about.
So we would have to send that to the fire police,
Yeah.
whoever's gonna be,
Everybody that's in the,
okay.
Do you want me to do that, or are you guys gonna handle that? Do you wanna invite them?
Yeah, I guess I can invite it, so it's that November 20th. right?
November 20th, it's from 9 o'clock, well, the tabletop itself is 9 to 10:30, and then Pamela's gonna be on from 10:30 to 11:30 for extra help.
so.
Now, if the
we'll let
chief,
them-
now say if the chiefs weren't available, a representative from the department would be qualified.
I would say next person down, do power of commands.
What's that,
Chain of
Shaggy?
commands.
Yeah, okay, we'll have to, make that very short with it.
Make that
About,
happen
that's
quick.
roughly a month.
It's
so
a month away,
you wanna-
yeah.
You wanna get it on their radar now?
Okay.
I'll email you guys first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
In the realm of FEP funding, I went out to Worcester on October 10th, I think it was, or I can't find it. October 10th, because you guys had requested AED pads through the funding and a laptop. I got there, they didn't have the pads. I guess Cheryl or whoever had put in for a whole machine. And I was not comfortable taking the machine. I felt like that's not what you guys needed, and I feel like there's a lot of ropes that come with that, with it needing to be maintained and whatnot. So I talked to Pamela, I put in for the pads themselves, I got the exact pads from the school nurses for what they need. They put in, I don't know how quickly they're gonna come, ideally within the next month or so. But just know that we're in the right direction. There was a laptop there as well, I did not pick it up, but I will get it. I was told that you guys do want the laptop and need it.
The pads have a life expectancy of about a year,
Okay,
but they do usually extend beyond that.
okay,
So it's not a big deal if they're a month or two late.
okay,
So,
cool. Do you guys have any other questions or not?
I can't think of anything.
The Massachusetts Association of Health Boards, MAHB, was renewed. So I know you guys sat through MAHB. Yeah, thank you. A training a couple months ago. Just know that your renewal, coming. Your renewal is set, so you are still members. So take advantage of using them for any kind of legal issues that you maybe have in the future. They should be able to help.
We've already contacted her, Cheryl, a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah, I think her name's Cheryl Sabar, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she pops up on my videos, meetings often.
And then we're all scheduled for the November 5th through 7th?
Yes.
Yeah, through NHOA.
Mhm.
So we'll all be there, can't wait. You
Yeah.
guys need anything? Have any questions?
I can't believe how long they have like that first day schedule, like
I was
8
gonna say,
AM to 10 PM, I'm like, that's,
Well,
I mean,
it's not,
actually, it stops at
After 4,
Yes,
it's
you can
all
leave at 4.
fun and games.
Yeah.
They do a dinner and
They do a dinner raffle and a, you know.
for the people that, come all the way from.
like the one
Yeah.
I just went to one in
So they
Plymouth
run till
and they
4
did that.
every
And we
day.
did like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all stayed
about
there. We
4,
did like
4:30.
teams.
I can email you guys the latest schedule.
And
They got
That's
this
broken up with
recently.
breaks and then
Yeah.
they got a vendor crowd.
Yeah, you walk around, they feed you, there's coffee, there's like a Starbucks on the street, you can wander, like you're not trapped there.
Yeah.
You can have fun with it. There's vendors, freebies.
Like I ran, the last one I went to, I ran my job from there for 3 days.
That's great.
So,
So that's everything I have, unless you guys need anything from
I
me.
have one other issue,
Yeah.
and I really am remiss to bring it up, but I have to bring it up while I get you here.
Yeah.
We need to do something to get better with our Title V access with Felix.
I agree.
I mean, right now, I hate to say it, it's heading down Prissy Road,
Yeah.
and I don't wanna go down that road again.
No, I understand.
So we need to do something to find out what the issues are,
Okay.
and what he can do to rectify
Okay.
the situation.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I feel stuck. I don't know if we should try to look for someone else. My light at the end of the tunnel is that ideally Tesla's gonna become your Title V contractor.
And I don't wanna overload.
No, and I don't wanna overload her either, and that wouldn't happen until,
I mean,
The
I'm not
summertime,
even doing, I'm not even
realistically.
doing my soils till the spring. So that means probably till I'm comfortable, summer, fall, and yeah, and again, it's a lot being regional, so I might not be able to make all of them, so
no, but even
that's
if,
why, yeah.
cause Felix is currently your only
I
Title
would
V
say
agent
if
right
she
now,
can
right?
do it, she can do it,
Mhm.
but I would like to see someone as a reserve,
A backup.
Yeah, okay.
you know? I mean, we got enough problems with these guys as it is with them playing their games, and we need to keep on top of it so that we can deal with situations as they arise,
Okay.
so. And that's all I have to say on the subject.
No, I understand. I hear you guys loud and clear.
Anybody else have any? Okay, old business. Any old business?
Just the, well, that we talked about a couple months ago on 784 Westwoodville Road.
Yeah, it's still not covered.
Still not covered. Send a letter.
We can send another letter. His complaint is that we trespassed on his property to get the pictures. I'd say we get a new set of pictures, only from a drone.
I'll put a camera.
We're not
I
trespassing.
know, we have a pole long enough.
I could get one.
I would say let's send him another letter, ask him where the
Where the situation
where the
stands for an
situation
update.
stands right now for an update on it. And it needs to be taken care of sooner than later. If it's not, then we'll access the state regulations, see if we get the state involved in it.
Just to be clear too, we did this on a follow-up of a complaint. It wasn't something that we just.
Yeah, I know, I
Okay.
know, it was a complaint. But either way, if he doesn't respond, I think we need to go the next route and get the DEP involved with it.
So what is the initial step, did you say?
Initial step is to notify him again that we want an update on the status of the covering of the well. And if it is covered, I want pictures, not just his word. And the ability to go out and take pictures on our own
Okay, by a letter or,
by letter. And then if the response doesn't come back from that, then we talk to the EP, see what we can go with.
we do have it in our bylaw too, something about on the cat,
Yes, we do.
town bylaw.
It's also in the state regs that they have to be covered when they're abandoned. Anybody else got anything on their old business? Okay, monthly business through bills and payroll.
Alright, I will.
Hmm?
You wanna read it or you want me to?
Yeah, I'll let you read it this month.
Alright, make a motion to approve the following bills and payroll. Daniel Thibodeau, monthly stipend, $208.33. James McKeon, monthly stipend for October, $208.33. Travis Baker, monthly stipend for October, $208.3333.
You got a raise. Why don't you get a raise?
No problem. I keep looking at that and giggling about
You get extra.
Well,
Animal Inspector Ryan Davis for October, $200. Barton and LaJudas Monitoring, invoice 12521 for $18,857.50. Replacement of 6 gas ports for Barton LaJudas, $3,122.25. Burdetch trash removal, I'm assuming that's for October, September.
October.
Alright, $719.50. And then Solid Waste Solutions October invoice for $2,350.
Motion made to accept the bills and payroll.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No motion made, motion carried to accept the bills and payroll. Approval of minutes from 9/16/25. Everybody else square away with those?
Yeah.
Okay. Next meeting scheduled for November 18th. Everybody okay with that date?
Yeah, I don't know what time you guys wanna do it, I know cemetery's scheduling their meeting for 4 o'clock, I think. Where did I put
We were
that in the
still,
room?
either the 17th or the 18th.
Oh, okay.
We were still in, but, yeah, if it was the 18th, we should
Yeah,
try to go.
I just
we
remember I
wanted
threw
to
that
go
in my
back to the
calendar.
6 o'clock.
If it is a issue that day, we could take the 6 o'clock. slot.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So let's go with the 4, and if there's a what's the word I want?
Conflict.
Conflict,
4 PM you said?
if there's a 4 PM conflict, we'll move ours to 6.
Okay.
The next most important question of the night, of the day.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I don't, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion made, motion carried.